Hey, kitty. Hello, kitty. Hello. You silly thing. It's not often we see a kitty. Friendly little cat. Look at you. Look at this absurd thing. It's gonna headbutt. Oh, right there. See? Yep. Headbutt mode. It's a bud. Alright. Come on, Zooks. Hey, boy. Cutie. Looks like Smokey Bear the cat. Yeah, that's Curly. He's got that very, like, hardcore, like, stare down face on him. Skip the bub. Alright. Today is definitely a interesting day so far. Guess I soaked the sweat. Me! Unironically, actually, kind of, yes, me, a little bit. I'm assuming you too. But let me make sure my dog ain't running away. I just heard him run right outside. There we go. Boop. Little goof. Alright, there we go. Silly little mutt. What's the unironic capitalist suck-out program? What's 60 minutes? I mean, you didn't know that? I mean, 60 minutes, like, used to actually be pretty good. Even for being kind of like a centrist, liberal, like, you know, program. But at this point, they're just, yeah, like a capitalist suck-off program. Have watched it before? In times past, honestly, 60 Minutes has been pretty good. Actually, there's been times where 60 Minutes has actually done some breaking news type of shit before. Like, 60 Minutes, honestly, you know, for a while, like, used to actually be pretty good. In my opinion. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were always, like, good or right or, you know, utterly amazing or base, but they at least, you know, kind of did a genuine, like, kind of critical analysis about stuff, but at this point, that's not true. Like, you're more accurate now these days in comparison to how it used to be. On Trump years ago, but I don't remember much. Yeah, well, I remember this much about that episode. It was really good because, like, they were just, all they were simply doing was just, like, throwing softballs at him, you know, where he could have easily made an out, but he kept digging himself a deeper hole. And it just kept going more unhinged, and they were just, like, letting him do it. But they weren't, like, with Marjorie Taylor Greene, just, like, letting her do it without any criticism or any backlash or anything like that. All my brass and shells. Yeah, I'm gonna at least have a little bit of that for the show. Which, I don't know if I want to. Actually, you know what? I'm looking at the little puppies that I'll eat. I am seeing those puppies. Cats are evil. Piss on everything in sight. You want to know how you could stop them from doing that is neuter or spay them. Because, at least especially for male cats, the main reason why they do that a lot is because they're not neutered or spayed. Like, honestly, when it comes to, like, marking or scenting and stuff like that, cats are way, way worse about that than dogs. I mean, that's just how they are. I mean, dogs, like, I mean, Zukov, like, he's not neutered or anything, but, you know, he still doesn't do any of that. They are neutered. So, except for the kitten. Well, the kitten makes sense. You know, I don't want to do it too early. But, at least, like... So, they just have... I mean, they probably just... I don't know, then. I'm assuming because you have so fucking many of them. I mean, how many litter boxes do you have? Because if you don't have, like, more than 5, then that's a problem. That's probably why. They need a lot of spaces to go shit and piss, frankly. And if you don't have a lot of spots, you know, for them, one for each cat. Oh my god, there's one for each fucking cat. And even then, they just... Dude. Jesus Christ. Dude, they are little shit stains, aren't they? I mean, I guess even for one cat, you technically want more than one space, but, like... They even say that it's recommended to have, like, 2 litter boxes for even a single cat. But, I mean, goddamn. Clean 2 litter boxes every day. Dude, Jesus Christ. That is some fucking work, dude. And it's, like, the worst fucking, like, thing that you need to deal with, too. Because it's just the smell of kitties and their horrible fucking just rankness. And it's bad. Oh, he's back in the laundry room again. What a silly dog. Go for litter like no tomorrow. Well, I can see why the conservatives are so freaked out about maybe, you know, people having litter boxes, because you're the ones who are doing it. It's people like you that are taking all the litter and changing litter boxes every day and all this and that and using litter boxes. So this is really what, like, the fear should actually be. You know, these motherfuckers are always like, oh, you know, these furries and these kids, but it's like, nah, dude. It's these motherfucking, like, you know, kitties, dude. Like, the actual kitties. Little demon spots. Oh my god, there's more indictments on Trump. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Why am I not surprised, to be frank? I'm not even gonna bother looking at a video about that or anything, because frankly, it's just... I mean, it I'm just not shocked. Every time a cat pisses, a demon is expelled for them. Let's watch some in the gauntlet. Dude, skip to 2 hours to 30 minutes. Skip to that. Because in between 2 hours to 30 minutes to like the 2 hour 45 minute mark, Paul accidentally lets it slip. I think they edited out the N-bomb. No, they didn't. No, they did not. It is there. It is still there. I was listening to it last night. Like, it is definitely still there. Like, there's no way they edited that out. It's one little drop. I mean, 3:15, didn't hear it. You're at 3 hours 15, go back. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get my headphone in real quick, because I obviously don't want to play audio or nothing. I don't want to, like, accidentally pirate content from their shit. So let me do this real quick. I'll skim around a little bit. But I promise you, it's like the 2 hour, and like the 2 hour 30 minute mark. It's around there. I think it's like 2 hour 38 minute mark. But here, let me, here we go. Oh, cool. It left off where I was last. Yeah, it left off where I was last at. Okay, here, which is at the 3 hour mark, so let me go back a little bit. Is it the one where the black guy has sex with a ghost? Yes. Okay, hold on. Oh, alright, I almost found it. It's at the 2 hour 40-minute mark, actually. Oh, wait, hold on, I might have... Oh, wait, this isn't it yet. Almost near it. I'm just trying to figure out, I think I'm almost at it. It's somewhere around here. Where the fuck? Bro, Davos is just a billionaire club for rich fucks. What, Davos? Well, yeah, I knew that. Or Davos, or whatever the fuck. I mean, I know that, like, remember that one climate change guy when Tucker Carlson was, it like got grilled on this dude. It didn't even air. It got leaked by like a producer, and basically Tucker was like, you know what, go fuck yourself or whatever the fuck, you know, just popping off on him. Like that guy was basically somebody that was at Davos, specifically literally to call them all out, being like, you know, y'all, you know, basically do this type of thing to pretend you give a shit, but you don't. Y'all just here sucking each other off. You know, basically the equivalent of what you're saying. That was a few years ago. Like, I mean, I've always known that, yeah, it's always been like a elite rich club for all of them. Oh. Alright, hold on. I think I might have almost found it. Might get my sooner than later too. Winky face. What does that mean? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's like in between the 2 hour 40-minute to 3 hour mark. It's somewhere in between there. Like, I mean, I'm skimming around it and I know it's somewhere in there because Paul's doing his weird little bit, but he does it 3 different times. The third time is when he does it. I'm trying to find the third time, but I can't outright find it, and I know it's somewhere. Trying to, yeah, it's somewhere in here. Oh wait, nope. Oh, I found it. It's the 2 hour 43 something minute mark. I found it. I just fucking found it. I skipped it, but I found it. That was, yep. Yep, it's the 2 hour 43 minute mark. Yep. Okay, I found it. Alright, Venom, I found it for you. So, go to the 2 hour and 43 minute mark and go to like the 2 hour 43 and 30 second mark. Go there. That's it. That's it. It was exactly the 2-hour, 43-minute mark and 50 seconds. That's the mark. That's the mark. I found it. Yep, it's not censored. He just threw it right out there, bro. Yep, that's it. That's it. He's already. I think Venom's already on his way. That's it. I found it. That was it right there. That's the drop. That's the Paul drop. Oh my god, I fucking love it, dude. Well, I love it because I hate it. Well, I hate to love it. It's more or less I hate to love it. He drops it. I told you, dude. I told you. I told you, bro. It's like a rodeo. Wish Nicholas Fuentes was here for this. I mean, dude, hey, you know what? It's method acting, my G. It's method acting. I told you he drops it. Oh my god, dude. Oh, it's so funny, man. Oh my god, I fucking love it. I knew it was in there. I fucking knew it was somewhere in that, like, time frame. It took a little bit. I was sunk cost fallacy hardcore because I knew I was in the mark. It took a minute, but I found it. You know, so, yeah. When you watch the gauntlet, just go to that minute mark, and you will not be disappointed. The autism exorcism kind of pissed me off. Oh, dude, that did too, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. With the little kid. Yeah, because that shit's honestly, unironically, fucking torture. Like, I'm just gonna go out and say that. That's just fucking torture. And honestly, I guarantee you the kid is just clueless, too. Like, the kid genuinely seemed a little clueless. Like, did not know, he could not process exactly what was going on. And it's like, because he was like, what just happened? And, this is weird. Like, if you look at him, he's genuinely confused about what's going on. Like, he can't comprehend what's happening. And a part of that is probably due to whatever disability he has. Which, you know, probably is autism, but, like, the thing is, if you look at the kid, like, he seems like he's not even, like, that, like, of a, you know, not, like, you know, awkward kid or that not well off or some shit. He just has weird fucking Christian-ass parents. They're, you know, like, but beyond that, it seems like, you know, the kid just seems fine. Like any other stereotypical little chubby kid, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like, I mean, I imagine him, you know, probably being into Sonic or Fortnite or whatever the fuck. For torture, but I know he didn't. Well, honestly, the idea is that the kid probably got coerced into doing that just because he would probably get something in return. Like, I mean, that's usually how those things work. Because, look, I mean, I haven't done shit like that before. Thank fuck. But I have partook in, like, these church camps and shit, and they do similar things. Like, there's all sorts of different shit that these churches will do. And at least what mine did, at least when it came to these types of circumstances, was they would do things like baptisms or, like, you know, big forgiveness of your sin things and shit. Where you go up and be like, hey, you know, I want to forgive my sins, blah, 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 and make a whole spectacle of it and shit. But it was always, like, volunteer thing. Like, I mean, they would kind of, like, encourage kids to come up and do it, but they would be the ones to do it themselves. I never did it, because I didn't give a fuck. Yeah, just go ahead and stick on top of that. For Sonic the Adventure 2, I'm joking, by the way. I figured you were joking. But, yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, though, like, there was also at least one church camp where they did these whole big baptism things in the pool at the camp, by the way. It wasn't even, like, some special tub or something, or, like, some holy tub. It was really just, like, the pool. Like, you know, where you go swimming in for the day and all that shit. Like, that's where they did it. And, you know, so, you know, like I said, like, I know how some of that shit fucking works. Like, you know, and honestly, it's, like, you know, all of it to a certain degree is at least emotional and mental abuse to an extent. At least to a certain degree. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, it can go as far as, like, full-on fucking torture. You want to saw a kid drowned when I was 8 at an Adventure Bible Camp? Oh my fucking god, dude. What, were they, like, holding the kid down for, like, a full fucking minute? Like, you know how bathtubs work, right? You just dip your head in it. In the water. It's like, it's literally a boop, boop. Into the river and told them to swim. Wait, so it wasn't even a baptism. They just threw a kid in the river and just forced him to try to swim and he just died? So they just fucking murdered a kid. Probably got away with it too. What the fuck, bro? Holy shit. This got the camp to shut down. Well, good. For the summer, at least. I mean, fuck, dude. Hopefully it stayed shut down. God damn. Man, I've never heard of shit like that. Because honestly, like, I mean, like, man, it really makes me fucking realize how lucky I was, you know, considering my Christian upbringing. It was still not good, at least in my opinion, but at least it definitely was a lot more benign in comparison to a lot of this other shit that I hear from people, man. Like, cause holy fuck, dude. If anything, I honestly had it kind of easy. Especially during, like, the, like, you know, later, when I was going to these camps and shit. Because once it was, like, the middle and high school, like, tenure of kids and shit, they didn't really, like, force a lot of, like, biblical Christian bullshit at you. I mean, they did, but they used most of the day in the afternoon to basically just do different activities and shit like that, or just have, like, free time, you know, before dinner or something like that, you know, so just shit like that, basically. I mean, you know, so I honestly remember, at least, you know, when I was at least, like, near the later end of middle school to, like, early part of high school, like, honestly, just being kind of chill. Just because, like, if you want, you could go to the lake and kayak a little bit, or go swimming in the pool, or zip line, or whatever the fuck. I mean, that was basically, like, most of the day. You just can kind of do whatever you want. Which is honestly nice, like, I mean, but when you're a kid, they kind of made you do all the fucking church-based activity shit, but, you know, at a certain point, they kind of realized that they can't always control kids, so they just kind of, you know, let free time be, you know, as the years went on, a little bit more and more. Which I honestly liked, at least. But that's because at least our church is more liberal in comparison. I won't say progressive, but at least liberal. People camping next to the Warrior River who slept in caves instead of buildings. I mean, like, as a concept, that sounds cool. I just don't want it, like, Christian or Catholic based. Fuck that. Just make it like a regular, like, summer camp thing for kids. Because that sounds cool. Like, I would love to do that. Even now as an adult. It's, like, cool. I can go to, like, a campsite, but instead of, like, yurts or stuff like that, you can set up in a cave. Hell yeah, dude. That'd actually be kind of cool. I mean, you can't tell me that's kind of a vibe, actually, you know? Because, I mean, I'd do that. Sounds awesome. I think the priest wanted to let, because he kept trying to talk to me. Probably. I'm just going to go on a limb here, or like, at least, like, on a limb, and basically just say that if you're a priest or a pastor of, like, any fucking, you know, church and shit, unless proven otherwise, I suspect that you want to deal with kids. Like, I mean, unless proven otherwise. I mean, there's plenty of churches out there where I could just kind of, you know, be like, okay, yeah, probably not. But, like, honestly, I mean, it is such a fucking normal thing in churches and shit that it's basically, you know, guilty until proven innocent in my mind with those fuckers. Because it's like every single time you investigate these churches, there's always sinister shit that they've done. Or are concurrently doing and keeping shit, you know, like, under the radar. Because they want to protect their flock or protect their leaders. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's guilty till proven innocent, those motherfuckers. I mean, who want to listen to Gar? I don't want anyone doing that to me, thank you. Hey! Chill out, Zooks. Good for a month. Well, too bad. Just sniff this right here. How about you sniff it first? If you want me to, then obviously there's nothing wrong with it, right? So you do it. Actually reminds me, I should probably at least have some spare shirts for the show later. I'm definitely not wearing the shirt I'm wearing right now. It's gonna be too thick. I might bring it along anyway, though. Okay. Flap. Flap. So if you know, I'm Eric gas mask today at the Co-Simon store, full head protection with an NBC mask. They want $400 for it. Damn. That's a pretty hefty price for it. Though I'm assuming it's like an original piece, you know, that was probably actually used, or at least like given out in service to somebody. Because usually stuff like that goes out way more in comparison to stuff that's like surplus. Like a lot of the military memorabilia I tend to find tends to be just, you know, mostly like surplus stuff. $350 for for a vintage mini Coca-Cola fridge. Nice. Good boy, caught a fly. Had a little hippity hop on that one. I told me I could get a bigger one on Amazon for cheaper. Oh yeah, you can. I got like a little mini fridge that's a Coca-Cola, or at least vintage style, and it was only like $50. My mom got it for me, and I'm pretty sure she probably got it on Amazon. So, though, yeah, if you really want to get like at least especially a vintage style like mini fridge that's Coca-Cola, I mean, you can easily find a bunch of, you know, different types of like mini fridges for way cheaper that can even be bigger. Stuff just called Portland homeless land. I'd argue that a lot of like places in the South tend to have worse homeless problems than Portland. In fact, Portland's homeless issue isn't even like that like bad in comparison to like other places. It's pretty on par with like any other major city. I've seen Nashville and it has hella homeless. Oh yeah, dude, Nashville's way fucking worse with homeless and shit.
Something Robert made.
Huh?
Whatever these are.
Oh, those are like little clamps. I found those in Robert's room.
I was gonna say, it looks like something Robert made.
Yep. There you go, Dad. The chat says hello. What's your favorite present? I don't think you're gonna get that answer. kind of doing his own thing right now. It's on some missions. At least one of the missions is getting the car cleaned out a little bit. That fucking dog, dude. I know it's rigged. It probably is, honestly. Funny enough, he also likes Bill Clinton. So, I mean, I won't be surprised if he says, like, oh, I don't know, Slick Willie's pretty good, too. That's what he nicknames Bill Clinton, Slick Willie. I wonder why he calls him that. I'm sure Lewinsky knows. I'd let young Bill Clinton peg me. I mean, young Bill Clinton, yeah. I could see it. Because honestly, he's got like that kind of handsome, suave charm about him. And he plays the saxophone too. I mean, he's a musician, so it's just like, there's also that, and it's like, oh, he can suave me, like, with a sax solo. Yeah, he's like a fucking shell. Like, he literally is like a carcass that's just being, like, wandered around. Just, like, shuffled about. Obama looks so old now. Obama just... dude, like, I mean... him, like, he basically just metamorphosed into, like, a full Sith Lord, honestly. That's just what happened. But you're right, though. He does. Like, 2 terms of being president and, having a nice and cushy being a Sith Lord tends to do that to you. This makes disappointment and anger. Oh, don't. I feel the same thing. Dude, it's the same thing for me too, dude. Because think about it from, like, my angle a little bit. Like, I mean, I was, like, kind of a kid growing up, through a decent chunk of his presidency, outside of 2 terms of Bush. And once I started getting in politics, like, it was pretty much, like, his last term, and all the things I learned about him and stuff, it was like, oh, shit, hopefully he could be kind of good. But, as I started getting more into politics, I realized, oh, he's a facade. And then, at the very last little bit of his tenure, did all sorts of shit. But then, basically, when, looking at it from its totality, I realized he fucked us. So how does it, make someone like me feel when, like, basically my first, election to vote in is right after him? Especially when you get, like, the fucking milquetoast disappointment piece of fucking trash that's Hillary that was, meant to be the heir, right after him. So it's just like, I mean, it's like, I know I'm not that much, younger than you, but, I mean, that little pinnacle of time, is, at least pretty significant when it shaped my politics. Because, obviously, like, I kind of went into it more naively and shit, mainly because, like, I wasn't aware about all this shit yet. Just because I was simply a kid. It was my first vote in 2012, you lied to me. Well, yeah, same for me, too. Like, because, like, as somebody who is going to be a, first-time voter, him and the DNC and the entire Democratic establishment, did the same thing. It was, like, in a way, even, like, more so of a lie and a manipulation, especially considering that I, had a fresh, like, perspective to look when it came to this entire fucking track record. So it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, with the brass tacks of it all, it's just like, it was more of a fucking sting, especially when there was somebody that actually seemed like who gave a fuck, like Bernie, and at least kind of gave someone like me a little hope of, like, hey, maybe things could at least change up a little bit for the better. And then realizing how fucking, like, corrupted and, ingrained the status quo was from that, not just from that election, but twice over, too. I mean, it's definitely left me very cynical about the system and shit. But, I mean, at this point, it's been channeled into something that I think can at least, push it around. Because it needs to. And there's a lot of people kind of, you know, pushing it around a little bit. And for good fucking reason. I just don't necessarily think, at least nationally, voting is really going to make that fucking difference or that push. However, though, I mean, you know, that's why, I've mentioned it before, but it's why I'm pretty selective about me fucking, you know, being a, you know, more of a selective voter, especially at least when it comes to national elections. I'm more willing to just straight vote down ballot when it comes to, like, state or local stuff. Voted for Hillary and yelled at me for voting green in 2016, 2020. Well, I mean, that's just stupid. Like, I mean, I hate this whole condensation. I've gotten it too, by the way, because I voted green in 2016. You know, and I've also, like, at least, you know, from some of, like, my folks, they'll be like, oh, so what if you voted for Hillary, you know, or did you want Hillary as president or something like that? And I'd literally be like, do you not, like, I've told you literally the election and shit. Like, you saw me fill in my ballot. Like, I did not vote Hillary, you dingbat. It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's like, you know, I get that shit all the fucking time. She was flying by the whole first female president thing. A lot of people were, to be honest. Some people were bought into it so much that they were like, oh, yeah, people who, you know, are against her are basically just sexist, like Bernie Bros and shit. There's a lot of people that fell into that bullshit. Down for female president. Oh, same here. I just don't want one that is a demon witch from the 18th hell dimension. I don't want that being my first female president. I want, like, my first female president to be someone who's at least worth a shit. I mean, fuck, I don't even like Warren, but I think she would have been better a choice for a first female president. Because she wouldn't be as much of a corporate fuck, you know, like Hillary. She definitely has her feet planted in both, you know, aisles, like on the progressive and corporate side of things, so I still don't like her. Especially if how much she fucked Bernie over, too. You know, so she's definitely not my, you know, friend as far as I'm concerned. But, I mean, she still would have been a better option as a first president. Like, honestly, in 2020, if it was, like, you know, if it was Warren as a nominee, I mean, I probably would have voted for her, maybe, but it would have been really unlikely. What are the chances of that? What, a first trans president? I don't think anytime soon. I feel like that'll eventually happen. Think of the bricks, the console shift that happened. Dude, that'd be fucking great, honestly. Oh, what if, like, there's a like, our first trans president just kind of keeps it a secret up until, like, after they win? It's like, I have an announcement to make. I'm actually trans. Like, right, like, during the inauguration, dude. Like, they make a special speech in the inauguration, that's when they fucking admit it. Like, to keep it a secret, you know, the entire time, you know, like, up until then, they drop the shoe, and, like, they basically do everything, you know, in their power to, like, hide, you know, the fact that they're trans up until, like, that speech. Is also the first trans president. Dude, that would be pretty fucking awesome. Dude, I feel like there are, like, at least, there is Zoe Zephyr, for example, like, but she already has been, like, kind of, you know, like, kind of outed, so to speak, you know, in a way by, you know, the conservatives and shit, and has already a record, you know, especially with the Republicans, so, I mean, I guess she wouldn't work, but if someone like her were to be able to kind of go in there, and no one really knows her, then, I don't know, maybe it could work. I vote for oh, dude, fuck yeah. I'd vote for Zoe Zephyr in a heartbeat, dude. I mean, it's like, that's not even with a fucking, you know, that's not even a question to me like that. I'd just do that in a heartbeat. Like, I just think at least if, you know, she has the balls, and I don't mean the male genital. Yeah, she has, like, the figurative gum, you know, she has the chutzpah. I mean, she really does. Like, I mean, she might be very soft-spoken, but, I mean, you don't have to be, like, some firebrand, like, rah, you know, to really, like, you know, throw some shade and have some, like, you know, some balls and some, you know, chutzpah, you know? So, it's just, like, it's one of those things where, you know, it's just, like, you know, she knows, like, how to fucking, you know, throw her, you know, weight around, which is good. Her, and then Justin Jones and Justin Pearson. And then, yeah, like, and honestly, that just kind of shows, at least, you know, for, the state level and local level, that kind of at least validates my point with, at least, you know, when it comes to voting, that there is definitely more significant impact and merit to that level of voting. The national level don't really mean that much. But that type of shit, you know, that's how people like Zoe Zephyr, Justin Joseph, Justin Pearson get elected, is due to, you know, local elections like that. So that shit's what, you know, matters more than anything. I mean, if anything, I wish these electoralists would just, you know, at least, you know, emphasize that, you know, when it comes to their whole vote, go vote, bro. You know, because at least then it would, I feel like, be at least a lot more palatable to people who are more frustrated with the system and voting in general. I mean, because they can at least see some of the value, at least on a local level, like a city councilship or, like, you know, countywide or, you know, a state representative or something. I mean, it's like, at least, you know, there is at least, you know, some sort of impact and significance that can happen that would, you know, potentially, you know, impact your day-to-day life in that way. But, like, a lot of people that push for, like, voting and electoralism are always just, like, you know, talking about, you know, the presidency or, like, you know, senators and shit. And it's like that really don't mean much. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, it's like, I mean, you know, what really matters more is the local shit. I mean, you should be, you know, if anything, telling people if you're going to go vote, at least do so on the local elections. You know, prioritize that. It doesn't mean, like, you know, just fuck one level of voting, but at least just, like, emphasize that, because I do think that would be more palatable to people that are more, like, against the idea of voting or just disenfranchised with it. There's some city in Texas as trans police chief, and the Chos are trying to get him removed. Not surprised. Though, is that like the rare exception of a good cop that I'm hearing here? That one specific, you know, back to blue? I guess so, honestly. I'm kind of the same way, I guess. Like, I mean, is this a rare good cop? I hope so. I mean, because that'd be nice. Unless it's like a Blair, like, unless it's like a Blair White type of fucking, you know, trans person, then it's like, oh. Then I'm not too sure, but, you know, I don't know who that is, you know, when it comes to that trans police chief, but, you know, I'm just gonna go on a random hunch and say they're probably based. Probably. I'll at least give it the benefit of the doubt. She was listed as a Republican. Yeah, so I kind of figured that she's probably not, like, the most based person in the world, but, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'll just go at least have a bare minimal benefit of the doubt. Probably a chud situation. Well, I mean, maybe not entirely. I mean, maybe she's just one of these moderate Republicans where she's like a super, or he, or, you know, or they, he, but whatever. I don't know who this person specifically is. Or, you know, misgender. Well, yeah, I mean, I obviously am not trying to either, but either way, like, when it comes to, like, you know, them being a Republican, could just be the fact that they're, like, fiscal conservative, but they might actually be a little, like, socially liberal to an extent. I mean, because that's, like, you know, someone like my dad, for example. I mean, he's kind of like that. Calls self-libertarian, generally would vote libertarian, but because he's in a close primary state, you know, it's one of the situations where it's like, you know, he just votes Republican. And basically, you know, the same thing for me. I'd probably just be a Green Party guy if it wasn't for a close primary state that I'm in. Told me they were comfortable with assault and gender that way. Yeah, I've heard it too, so... I mean, there is, well, I'm just gonna be blunt, there is a chunk of me that really just wants to, because frankly, fuck them, you know, when it comes to, like, a chud and these right-wing pieces of shit. But, like, I mean, yeah, you know, obviously, you know, it's kind of, it's like hitting below the belt, you know what I mean? Like, there's, you know, like, more ways to go after those type of people, and honestly, in a more impactful way, too. I mean, so, it's like, basically, like, you know, just... like, doing a, no pun intended, but, like, doing a nut shot, right? It's like you're in a fight and you just do the easy, like, kicking the nuts, because it's just an easy out. It's like, nah, come on. It's like, be at least a little fair. Here, the latest, it shows me in place. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of that shit, which I'm not really surprised. I mean, he's a fucking sexual assaulting specific fucking pig and a pervert. So it's like, yeah, I'm not really exactly too surprised. And I don't mean pervert in a good way, like, I mean in a bad way, where he's just like genuinely a fucking weird diddling creep. Specifically, man. Yeah. Yeah, because he's like, you know, very insecure, like sexually insecure fucking weirdo that, you know, wants to be a degenerate and just like do things for the lols and like force everyone to just like, you know, be, you know, a part of his weird little thing. So he's just a freak. That fucking fly. Damn it. I was obsessed with not acting gay. Yeah, I never did, but I mean, I definitely know about that whole struggle of insecurity and shit. But of course, those motherfuckers, you know, would rather take it on against everyone else and shit, which is the whole fundamental problem. Because frankly, when it comes to insecurities like that, it usually goes either two ways. Like, it's more of an internal struggle, or they, you know, lash that out at other people in some way. Whether, you know, like what you're talking about, or what, like Steven Crowder's doing, or basically just being a bigot and just, like, expressing their insecurity on everyone else. Like with a lot of these, you know, conservatives now. Like, a lot of it's basically just kind of like one or the other with them. Mostly the latter, in my opinion. Ooh, just popped some shit pretty good there. Time check. Yeah, I know what time it is. I'm gonna get this last bowl cashed out, which is kind of partly smoked. Ugh. Just doing some stretches here. But yeah, probably won't be streaming at least until after the concert for tonight, which definitely gonna be fun. Gonna, you know, venture into the Mushroom Kingdom a little bit, potentially, while I'm at the show. And all that fun stuff. Just have a total fat-ass vibe. Get some tour shirts, or at least a shirt of some sort. All that fun stuff. Have a drink too. Party out, do some slam dancing. All that fun shit. Smoke the skooma. I just did. And then there's going to be a little bit of shroom later. But anyway, I'll at least call it good for now. So, at least for without further ado, I'll be back a little later tonight. Probably midnight, something like that, potentially. So, peace out, and I shall see y'all then. So, toodaloo, buckaroo.